Hey guys, Key here from Kegland and just talking to you about our new disposable gas cylinders. Now, it's fantastic to have reusable gas cylinders in some instances, but in other instances, sometimes it's too expensive to pay for either that monthly rental fee on gas cylinders, or you just don't go through huge amounts of gas, not really worth having a refillable gas cylinder. Now, with these new gas cylinders that we've got, which are disposable, we've got them available in nitrogen, argon. We also have oxygen, so you can be oxygenating your wort before you pitch yeast, and I'll do that in another video. And in the future, we might have a few other inert gases as well in these same type of gas cylinders. Now, with these disposables, they represent fantastic value for guys wanting to do the occasional stout or for instance, nitro coffee as well. Or a lot of people are using these for nitro ales and other beer styles these days as well, which is kind of exciting. These particular types of gas cylinders are high capacity gas cylinders, so they are a little bit larger than some of the other disposables we see on the market there. They're pressurized up to 110 bar, and because they're about a 1.5 litre gas cylinder, you can see they hold 157 litres. Well, the nitrogen holds 157 litres anyway. Yeah, some of the other gas cylinders will be different depending if it's a liquefied gas or not. But yeah, because it's a high capacity gas cylinder, you do get pretty good value out of these as well. So especially if you're buying them in a box of 4, we give a little bit of a discount. They work out to be excellent value. Now, with regards to the threads on the top here, the threads are the standard M10 thread on our inert gases. If you're using the oxygen, that has a different thread on top, purely because we don't want people to mix up their oxygen regulators and the inert gas regulators. It's not good practice to mix the two. So that M10 thread on top, it's actually the same thread that they use on various other brands of cylinders as well. So if you look at some of the other ones on the market, they all use these mini or the smaller size regulators, I guess, which have this smaller M10 thread in the back. So it means that our regulators and our gas cylinders are all compatible with other ones on the market too, which is nice. Not that you'd want to buy them from anywhere else, because I think ours are the best value, to be honest with you. Our regulators that we sell are also dual gauge. So these types of cylinders, like nitrogen, for instance, the high pressure gauge is quite handy. Unlike CO2, where your high pressure gauge is not a very good read of how much gas you have left. Nitrogen, on the other hand, because it's not a liquefied gas, it's just a compressed gas, well, in this form anyway, at this pressure, you'll find that the gauge is quite a good read of how much nitrogen you've got left in the gas cylinder. So typically, if somebody is using one of these nitrogen gas cylinders, they'll be able to get about 2 corny kegs. When you set the pressure at about 2.5 bar. You might get a little bit more than that, to be honest with you. So yeah, the pressures that you're dispensing with nitrogen are generally quite a bit higher than CO2. So the reason for that is because to get that sort of real cascading effect in those those stouts or those nitro coffees, you really have to use one of these, either a nitro tap, a dedicated nitro tap, or you can just interchange one of these nitro spouts into the taps you've currently got. So if you just unscrew your normal nozzle on your tap, you get a stout nozzle which looks like this. And if you look very, very carefully at the stout nozzle inside here, you can see it's got a perforated disc. So the reason for that perforated disc is we're using this higher pressure with nitrogen. So we're cranking that pressure right up to 2.5 bar or 20-30 psi, something like that, for instance. And that high pressure is pushing your beverage through this small perforated disc, and that's forming these really fine jets which squirt through these holes. Now, when that beverage goes through these holes and hits another plate which is beneath that, you'll find that it will really atomize, and then you'll get that sort of real cream or creamer effect that you see stout. So if you ever look at a stout which has just been poured, has firstly that cascading effect inside the glass with all the bubbles, very, very fine bubbles are sort of rising to the top, and also you'll get that very, very fine head, that crema almost, which forms on top of that stout or nitro coffee, for instance. So in order to do that, you need high pressure, and you also need one of these spouts as well. So when you're hooking all this type of stuff together, it's pretty simple. You just get the nitrogen regulator, you screw it on top of the gas cylinder like that. Now you'll notice you'll get to a point where it's just about to push the pin on top of the nitro cylinder. It's important you do this bit a little bit quickly so you don't lose too much gas. because there's a slight moment before the seal in the regulator hasn't sealed, but the pin is pushed down. So you want to do this a little bit quickly, so get a good grip on the regulator. Also make sure your regulator has the knob screwed all the way out, so it's not going to push gas out of this this nozzle here as soon as it's screwed in. So we're just going to turn that knob on top of the regulator anti-clockwise like that. Then we're going to screw this in, and you see, there we go, like that. So it's pretty straightforward, didn't lose too much gas there. Now you'll notice these mini regulators that we sell for our disposable gas cylinders, they have the 1/4 inch MFL thread on here. So they do come with a barb fitting, generally speaking. We might start packing them with these MFLs because they're so popular. But yeah, because they have the standard 1/4 inch MFL on the output there, they fit things like these duo type fittings straight on there. So you can just screw that on like so. I'd normally tweak that up with a spanner, to be honest with you, to make it a little tighter. Then what you can do is you can get your grey disconnect with the same MFL duo type fitting on there. Push that in like that. Other side goes in here. And look, it's really that simple. So that's all you have to do to pour an awesome nitro coffee or do a proper stout on tap with an amazing crema. So if you've got any other questions, definitely email us, give us a call. Or if you want to see any of our other new products, definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel, because that's where all our new stuff comes out, and you'll be notified as new videos come out. So if you want to do that, bottom right hand corner, subscribe now. The other thing is, it's worth joining our Facebook page if you want to get any of our discount codes. And we also have some interesting chat between some of the members there. So yeah, if you join our Facebook group, yeah, you'll be sure to see any discount codes as they come out for stuff like that. All right, hope to see you next time, guys. See ya.